Well, while we're here, let's talk about amps.
Yeah, yeah. Amps are my favorite thing in the world. I am an amp fanatic.
You were saying you're doing a little window shopping today in Nashville.
Yes. I stumbled upon a nice amp today that costs about as much as a house. So I'm going to sell my house.
yeah, perfect.
But,
perfect.
yeah, it was a Dumble, and it was fantastic.
And you own a Dumble.
I do own a Dumble. I bought one long enough ago that it wasn't as ridiculous as it is now.
My God, man.
I'm glad I did when I did.
Right.
It was years ago.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, as much whatever you paid for it back then, they're way more expensive. And a celebrity-owned Dumble gets that much more.
It's a special amp. The one I played today was
it's great.
Perfect. So, yeah.
Well, let's talk about what you're touring with.
So my touring rig right now is way, way simpler than I've ever toured with before. When I went to do my solo band, I simplified my rig because I couldn't have, stacks of amps pointing at me when I was singing. So I simplified it to 2 half stacks on either side of the drum riser. But now with Alter Bridge, I like it so much, I've pretty much adopted it for this band. So I use 2 amps at all times. There's no switching. Even when I'm going to clean, I'm just toning down my volume knob. So these are the only 2 amps I use. They're on at all times. This one's always run dry. This one's run with a delay in the loop. It's a G-Lab delay that I love. And the only thing to be said about the Bohlinger Ubershaws usually come with EL34s. This one has 6L6s in it. It makes a massive difference.
What did you prefer about the 6L6?
You know what, I didn't even know at first that the 6L6 was unique for the Ubershaw that I had until I got a backup Bohlinger.
Oh.
So I got a backup that EL34s, and I was like, this doesn't sound anything like my amp.
Yeah.
It's just, I love the sound of a 6L6.
Yeah.
It's just punchier and not as squishy, bigger. It's just what my ear is accustomed to.
Yeah.
So that being said, that amp is one of my favorite amps I've ever owned. It's been on almost every album I've recorded on. It's been on almost every tour I've ever been on.
How long have you had it?
Oh, geez, probably 12 years,
Wow.
13 years. Yeah.
Now Alter Bridge has been together for like 12 years, right?
Yeah. So it was pre-Alter Bridge that I've had that amp.
Great.
So it's been on every Alter Bridge record. This is just one of the many rectifiers I've owned over the years. I've probably had 10 rectifiers, and this one it says #1 A-Rig, so that's my favorite one. They all sound different, they're made with the same components, but a 12AX7, one versus the next, always sounds different. So this it just sounds better than all the rest. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the tubes. I don't know if it's the transformer. I don't know if it's because it's been dropped in a special way.
Right.
It could be anything.
And it could change. That's the funny thing about amps. They can be awesome, and then they can just change.
Yeah. Well, we just got these. We had the capacitors replaced on the Bohlinger because they were just too old. And with the Boogie, he said that thing's on its last leg. The transformer, he had to like clamp down, and I'm worried about that because I love the amp so much. But hopefully it stays,
Yeah, and you've got this PRS backup. Looks like.
this is my Archon. This is pretty much my Bohlinger equivalent, the Ubershaw equivalent. It's got 6L6s. It sounds very much like the Ubershaw. This amp is the reason why I considered doing a signature amp with Paul Reed Smith. At first they had these bigger, rounder, more Nashville guitar player style kind of amps. This one, I plugged into it, fell in love with it immediately. It's been on the last 2 records I've recorded. It's a great, great amp. But like I said, I'm doing a signature amp with the same guy who voiced this helped me voice the signature amp that's coming out next in March.
Oh, that's great. So this is going to be your SIG.
No, this is the Archon. Mine has definitely a different voice than this.
Okay.
But this is what gave me the idea of they're in the ballpark.
Started here and
we voiced it from there.
Kind of the same principle with your guitar.
Yes,
they started
exactly.
someplace and
exactly. But if you hear the 2, they're very 2 distinct amps. And I don't want to overlook these cabinets. When I was on tour years and years ago, Mesa Boogie only made the slant cabs, and I had asked, I'd like the straight back cabs. I want, I like the sound of them better, and so these were the very first ones they made of the straight back cabs.
Wow, cool.
As far as they told me, and these are so worn in and so they just have a special sound to them. So when I go and record records, I bring these cabinets in.
Do you know what they're loaded with?
Vintage 30s, the English vintage 30s, not the, you know, today they're all loaded with Chinese vintage 30s.
Cool.
And the English ones are just, to me, you know, it's all subjective, but I like the English vintage 30s.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, they've been beat up so much, they just sound great now.
Yeah,
But other than
very
that,
cool.
I got what's on the ground in front of me.